Hey everyone, this is Lomi, and I don't know about you, but I am glad the end of this year is here. I actually wasn't sure I'd post anything this week because I ended up being so tight on time getting last minute things ready for Christmas. So I don't have anything major to share, and after juggling half a dozen projects for the past month, my studio's a mess. But you know, sometimes that's the way things are, and sometimes it's nice to see things that people talk about less in the hobby, like how projects can get overwhelming sometimes. Through most of this year, my inspiration has been really low. I've done my best to keep working on things a bit at a time, but between a painful lack of time to work and a creeping sense of burnout while I try to keep things going, it often felt like a lot of my creative process was more of a slow-motion spiral out of control. My time to myself is extremely limited now, which means I have to choose between filming the next project or putting away the old project, and when my access to supplies has been spotty and delayed through the whole year, it's been tough to see anything from start to finish. I completed a few things, but not near as much as I'd hoped for. If I'm being honest, there was a time this year where I considered just putting my whole channel on a hiatus because I haven't been happy with a lot of the content I've been able to produce. And while eliminating Patreon helped free up some time, I didn't see the improvements I wanted. I took my break this summer to wrap up some stuff I didn't have time for while I was filming, and that helped me see that I really enjoy making videos about my hobby projects, so I didn't want to quit. But since then, it's been sort of a balancing act between getting things done and getting things out, and sometimes, like this week, I ended up not having a lot to share. But since I do see video always being a part of what I do, even if I don't do doll stuff forever, I knew I wanted to head into the new year with a few small measures taken to help me level up. I've been dissatisfied with my filming setup for a long time, but I couldn't ever find anything that worked for the kind of mobility I need or the spaces I use. Along the way I realized I could use my phone for a lot, and most of this video is filmed with it. But what I really needed was a good overhead mount because I had been using one built from PVC pipes since I started. It was easy to bump it or have it bounce if I touched the table. I like working with things I already have, so at some point I realized I could connect some kind of mount to my photo backdrop bar, which would give me a freestanding camera mount that was up away from my table and unlikely to be hit. It meant changing where I'd be sitting, but that change meant having more space for my lights too, which would mean an instant improvement in video quality. It takes a lot more space, but it's much brighter and gives me more room to work. I decided to test it while I did the last of the finishing work on Rune's heads, drilling out the eye wells so they'd be able to hold the 12mm eyes I wanted to use, and drilling holes for the magnets since I was finally able to get some. If I ever cast this doll again, it'll have holes pre-drilled, but I wasn't sure what size magnet I needed or how many, so I'm glad I did it this way for these. I also decided to try dyeing the white resin heads. The one that I did the eye closing mod on can't be dyed since it has primer on it, but since I knew I would have to airbrush over epoxy modifications and repairs on all these heads anyway, I figured it would be a good test to see what was possible with dye before I went on to put all my dolls out on display. Overall, I don't think my collection changed that much this year. I did get Rune finished, which I'm really happy about, and I got Invesi painted and put together. But Kit is still just a faceplate, and she's hidden on the shelf behind them. Lulu didn't change much at all. Lumia got painted and she got clothes, but I never did get around to anything for Vaughn. I did add one newcomer at the last minute this year, which is my very first minifee head. He's very old, extremely yellowed, and has a little damage, but I look forward to working on him. He's so cute, and he was really affordable. Pharell got her new hands and feet, so those will need to be yellowed to match her older resin, then I'll probably blush them. I did get her fantasy arm done this year, so I'm happy about that, even though it still needs to be strung. Cornelius is just the same, still hanging out in his fishbowl. Maybe I'll make him some new eyes. I never got around to doing anything for Laylee or Arios either, which I do feel bad about, but this year was kind of a year of sculpting and modifying, and they didn't need any of that. I want to make them some clothes next year. Of course, I think the doll that had the most remarkable change this year was Rune. Now that he's sort of together, I see I'm gonna have my work cut out for me, because I still have to finish the rest of his modifications. He still needs new eyes, face-ups for all his heads, and he'll need all new wigs because the ones I made for his old head don't fit because it was a different shape. The dye is a little uneven, but I think this is a good starting canvas for his face-ups, and I hope to have him painted before my birthday in a month. And that's about it. Most of the changes to my collection are less visible since I was focused on really intensive work for Rune and Rune, and also spent a lot of time focusing on books this year. But I'll save that for another vlog because I'm wrapping up edits on book 5 and I'll have a lot to say, I'm sure. There is one other change coming for the doll family, but it's not exactly mine. My daughter has been in love with my dolls basically since she was old enough to notice them. The past year she's helped me dress my dolls a lot, and she's been learning to handle them, so this Christmas there's something extra special waiting under the tree. My daughter will be directing face-up choices and things, so I'll share more about her doll in the future, but this also means I'll be able to make patterns for 1/4 scale girl dolls in the coming year. I'm wrapping this video up on Christmas Eve, so I'm really looking forward to see how she reacts come Christmas morning. Enough about my hobby for today though. If you've had any changes to your collection this year, I'd love to hear about them, so be sure to drop me a comment and let me know what's changed. That's all for today though. Thanks for watching. Bye.